Hello, Pam. I'm just putting hair on my bunny. Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. My yellow sunny bunny is going to have pink and green fur. This is all one yarn. It's mottled pink and green with a little bit of brown and an off-white color. So yeah, I thought I would do that while waiting for some folks. Hello, my teeny weeny. Hey, Stacy. Yeah, no more Nakey Bunny. Nakey Bunny's getting dressed. Nakey Bunny's getting dressed. Yeah, but it's time to do stitches, so we'll put Nakey Bunny away for now. Yes, it's variegated. Is that what I said? I said mottled or something. Variegated. Variegated, variegated. It's one of those words. Okay, we'll put Nakey Bunny away. Hey, my little Nakey Bunny. Hi, Bunny, Bunny, Bunny. Hey, Bunny, Bunny. With little buck teeth. Okay. I actually need to wear these right now because my skin. I took a medication, but my skin is crawling off right now. It's called pink camo. Actually, no, it's called Too Pink. TOO. Pink is what it's called. You're right. Now that I think about it, it probably is pink camo, but the name of it is actually called Too Pink. So yes, I'm putting my arms on because just because of the wonderful things they do. Okay, so we'll wait. We'll get a few more peeps in. I'll get my yarn, my needle, my thread ready. Kim put an earworm in my ear because I've been humming, would you like to swing on a star, carry moonbeams home in a jar, and be better off than you are? Or would you rather be a fish or a mule? Or whatever kind of animals are in that song. Okay. So, I'll have you know, now that I can do this stitch, it's like, why was it so hard for me? Because I was just, and it wasn't, I was just reading more into what it was doing than it was actually doing. And I was coming out with all kinds of crazy things. But then when I got it, I did these 3 wings with that stitch with the interlaced, no, yeah, the interlaced herringbone stitch. That's what that one is. The interlaced herringbone stitch, I did it in like 7 minutes total. It was very easy. So don't overthink it. But it starts with a stitch that I believe you're familiar with. I'm pretty sure I've taught the straight stitch before. And so just to review it, the straight stitch comes up at A, goes down at B, comes up at C, goes down at B, and then comes up the same amount of width that your stitch is. So if your stitch is like 1/4 of an inch, then you want to make sure that space between the previous stitch and your new stitch is 1/4 of an inch. And then you go down at the previous stitch. And that's your straight stitch review. And that's easy enough. Now, when you're doing the interlaced herringbone stitch, what you need to make sure of is that you have the same amount of straight stitches on one side as you do on the other. So what I recommend you do is start on one side and go, excuse me, go halfway to your point and count. Then start at the other side and just kind of eyeball where your next stitch begins and ends. But also count, and you will always, well, I say always, I did 4 times in a row, so you will most always come up with the exact amount of stitches that you need, and there'll be an even number, and you'll be able to do this stitch. The reason I was having such a hard time doing it before is it said just do the straight stitch, and I didn't realize it needed to be an even and equal herringbone. Herringbone. Not a hairy bone. Herring. Ring-a-dingy, herring-a-dingy, herring, herringbone. Okay, so in order to do this stitch, I am actually going to bring my phone down closer to the tabletop. I'm discombobulated. I need to remove my thread from over here. Hold on, because I only went halfway. I didn't leave myself enough. And I also have to make a knot at the end of the thread, and I have to rethread the needle. I have to cut the end of the thread. I know she playing. She playing herringbone. Herringbone. Ringy-dingy. Herringy-dingy. Purple and black. Ooh, I bet that's really pretty. See, I'm remembering to make the knot. Remember last time I didn't remember the knot? Remember the last time I didn't remember? Well, I'm remembering now. Okay. So to do this interlaced herringbone stitch, you're going to come up at your first straight stitch, because it's got purple in it. She don't like purple. You're going to come up at the very first stitch and you're going to go through from left to right, the second stitch on the other side. Okay, and pull taut. You're going to go from right to left through the first stitch on the right side, and you're going to go down, whoops, over the thread. The first couple of stitches are a little wazy, wonky, crazy, wazy. That's crazy and wonky. You don't pierce your fabric, you just go under the thread. Under your stitch. Over your thread and into the next available stitch. Not the previous stitch that you just did, but the next available stitch. If I can find it. There it is. There. Now you go back up to the first stitch. Come down to the next stitch on the opposite side that's available. You come down through the previous stitch, over your thread, and into the next stitch available. Again, don't pierce your fabric. This is just being an interlaced thing over your fabric. Turn your hoop, go back up, or down in this case, to the previous stitch, and on the other side into the first available stitch. Turn your hoop, go up in the previous stitch, and come down in your first available stitch. Turn your hoop, go in the previous stitch, and then come down on the opposite side to the first available stitch. Turn your hoop, go in the previous stitch, and come down in the first available stitch. And that's all it is turning it back and forth. Previous stitch to available stitch, previous stitch to available stitch. Here we go to the previous stitch. This one here, previous stitch, right here, to the first available stitch. And again, from the previous stitch down to the first available stitch on the opposite side. Turn the hoop. Nope. Already turned it. Nope. previous stitch to the first available stitch on the other side, which is, oops, right there. Turn your hoop. So it goes back and forth, just like that. Once I realized that you can actually just turn your hoop, you don't have to contort yourself. So you go to the previous stitch, over your thread, to the first available stitch on the other side. Hi, Dawn. Dawn, I didn't see you come in. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my crafty room. Okay. Turn the hoop. And go through the previous stitch into the first available stitch. On the other side. You're going to be saying this I'm going to be saying this in my sleep for the next 3 nights because of how long I practiced this stitch. Turn the hoop. Excuse me, and into the next available stitch on the opposite side, which is that one. Turn the hoop. Previous stitch. And into the next available stitch. You would think it's this one, but if you look closely, that's where the other one went through. So you got to go to the next available stitch that has no stitch in it on the other side. Well, it does, except that the way it crisscrosses on one side when you do one side, and it crisscrosses on the other side when you do the other side. See, if you look, it crisscrosses on one side and then the other side, and then on this side, and then on this side. So you go in the previous stitch, into the first available stitch on the other side. And try not to get hung up on your little screw. And then you do the previous stitch and the first available stitch on the other side. Like a lattice pie. That is much more accurate, yes. And you have to make sure you keep going. I know I said it only once, and I should have been repeating it all along, but you need to keep going over your thread, or else it will just look like a laced up sneaker. See, if you go over your thread, it does the lattice work back and forth. So previous stitch, previous stitch to the first available stitch on the other side. Whoops. No whoopsies allowed. There we go. That's not a whoops. That's a, oh, yep, it is. I went to the second available stitch on the other side. Okay, so all you do is pull it back out, rethread your needle, and try again. Do, 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 do. Okay, so previous stitch, previous stitch, there it is, to the next available stitch. And now that I'm doing it, I mean, I can see where I was having a hard time and what I was doing wrong, and it was just making sure that you go over your thread. A corset, yes, that's another way to think of it. I might dream about making more bunnies too, yes. So, previous stitch to the next available stitch. Previous stitch over the thread. My thread's in the wrong place. There we go. Over the thread to the next available stitch. Oops, I covered up that previous stitch. Sorry about that. Previous stitch over the thread to the next available stitch. Previous stitch over the thread to the next available stitch. And that, if you look, that's where I made my one mistake right there, and so I crushed in the wing. I missed a stitch there. That's how come that happened. But that's what the stitch is supposed to look like. Hi, Lizzie. How are you? I'm happy to see you here. Marty, to be absolutely honest with you, I think I would be much better in a much better doing this in a much larger space. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever do it in such a small, although I didn't think that was a small space when I first started to do it, but I think I would do it with a much larger space so that the lattice really shows, and I can keep better track of the stitches, because I'll tell you, having the two stitches together where the wings meet, it's hard to keep track of what's a previous stitch and what's an available stitch when you already have a stitch in it. So unless it's a much bigger piece or a much bigger motif, I honestly don't see myself using this stitch either. It was a challenge to learn, but I tell you what, now that I have learned it, it's actually kind of fun to do, because you get to seesaw back and forth, and yeah. And to the next available stitch. Previous stitch. My thumb's not long enough. Should have made it closer to the edge. Previous stitch over the thread to the next available stitch. Whoops. Caught the edge in there. Previous stitch over the thread. Not that one. There we go. That one to the next available stitch. Previous stitch over the thread to the next available stitch. Previous stitch over the thread to the next available stitch, and we're almost done. We're almost ready. Previous stitch to the next available stitch. It's tough, but it's right there. To the next available stitch. And then you go to the previous stitch, and where there is no next available stitch, you just bring the thread down through the fabric. Now you can pierce the fabric. You bring the thread down to the fabric and to the back. And that's how you end the stitch. Look at that one. That one looks prettier. This one I skipped 2 stitches. I thought I only skipped 1, but I did. I skipped 2 in a row. So it looks messy. Oh, God. That stitch is called the interlaced herringbone stitch. Interlaced herringbone stitch. Hey, Myra. Hello again. So that's the interlaced herringbone stitch that gave me fits. Once I got it, I got it. So let me just get rid of the thread and show you now the Italian. I don't know what it is with these Europeans being knotted and tied up, but it's the Italian knotted border stitch. So let me entertain you. Let me thread my needle. Let me get a knot. The other side. Now, the border stitch, as you can see here, I didn't quite get it right because they weren't even stitches, and then as I got them more even, it came out more even. Well, that was French. So as I evened out the stitches, they came out more even. So to do this stitch, which is called the Italian knotted border stitch. Come on, tighten up. There we go. It's exactly like doing the fly stitch, only ending the stitch with just a little tiny straight stitch. You end it with a French knot. Because when you go on your very first stitch, and thereafter, you don't continue to go forward. You actually do one step forward, one step back to forward, one step back to forward, one step back to forward. So you include you include both of the first stitches, even though you do them at different times. So you end up with even stitches. So you ended up, like, let's say there's 13 stitches on both sides. It can be an odd amount of stitches so long as they match on both sides. So let's say you had 13 on this side, and then you go back to the 12th and down to the 13th on this side, and then you switch it around, and then you end your thread. Okay, so you come up from the back, you come up from the back, you hold your thread, go over a pre-ascertained distance. So with me, it's going to be like 1/8 of an inch. Go down through the fabric and then come up at the bottom, but in the middle of your top 2 stitches. So you came up at A, you went down at B, and C at the bottom is right in the middle of your first 2 stitches on the top. It's in the center of that. Oh man. Hate when that happens. I'll see if I can get it out. If not, I'm just going to cut the thread and start over. And nope, I'm just going to cut the thread and start over because this is ridiculous. All right. So let's start again. So you come up at A, hold your thread with your thumb, go down at B, let's see, let's make it 1/8. I was going to do 1/16, but that's too small. Let's make it 1/8 of an inch. Down at B, up at C, in the middle of A and B. Then wrap your thread 3 times around your needle, pull taut, and push it all the way through, or pull, and you end it with a French knot. Now, note to self and note to you all, I think this looks better on a smaller border because then you can make them closer together and they look prettier. So let's pretend that my border is only that big. So we come up at A, hold the thread with your thumb, go down at B, and come up at C in the middle, at the bottom. Wrap your thread 3 times around your needle, pull taut, and down through. Okay, let's try that again. Like I said, that's a fly stitch with a knot instead of just a little tiny straight stitch or holding stitch. So you go up at A, down at B, up in the middle at C, three, and there's your French knot, holding it in place. Does that make sense? Does everybody understand? Yeah, that one I like too, Marty. Up at A, hold the thread, through to B and C in the middle at the bottom, 2, 3, wrap it, and down through. And that is how you do the border stitch, the Italian knotted border stitch. I didn't pull that French knot tight enough and it's all loopy-goopy. You know, I saw a video not too long ago of this Asian woman, and she was doing these stitches like 90 miles an hour, and every single one of them was perfectly even. And how she could do them so fast, she had a stand on the floor. Her hoop was on a stand on the floor, and she had one hand underneath and one hand on top. And so she was going down with the needle on the bottom, with the hand on top, and up with the needle with the hand on the bottom. And she was just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like 90 miles an hour. I could not believe how fast she was doing it. And the work she was doing was so beautiful. And here I am, taking 10 minutes to describe one stitch. 2, 3, wrap it a third time, place it, pull it taut, place it at the bottom. There. So, I think I hate her. Oh my goodness. I don't know, but okay, so this was the design I came up with. Do yourself a favor if you're going to do this design, and when you draw it or transfer it onto your fabric, separate the wings. Don't make them close together so that you're using just one strand of straight stitch, because it gets too confusing trying to figure out on your next wing what's an available stitch and what isn't. So separate your wings a little bit so that you have 2 lines of straight stitch instead of just one. Instead of just this one right here, you'll actually have 2. Yeah, I think that's all she does all the time, Marty. I don't know. I couldn't understand a word they were saying because it was all in Asian, but I was just watching. I was just fascinated just watching her. She had one hand like this and one hand like this, you know, and she was just going like this and then popping it back up and pulling it through and then pushing it back down and pulling it through and then pushing it back up and pulling it through. And she was just going and going and going. Little Energizer Bunny is what she was. So, okay. So now that you understand that your frame, the frame that I made, just a little partial frame, it doesn't go completely around. Again, note to self, note to you people, draw a line in the middle and make it a double line of your Italian knotted border stitch, or don't make this outside line so far away. Just make it a thinner border line. Like I did on the sample one, because your border will come out a lot prettier. So obviously that's your border, that's your Italian knotted border. This is your interlaced herringbone stitch is the wings. And then the rest is just satin stitch and French knots. So his body is just all satin stitch. And then when you get down to like the last 3 or 4 that are too small for satin stitch, you just French knots. He's got 2 little eyes, they're black French knots. And the center of the daisy is just yellow French knots, or whatever color you want to make your flower. So that's just satin stitch, French knots. I chose French knots to tie in with the French knots of the border. If you have any questions, obviously, feel free to not call me, but text me or message me or Facebook me or whatever. And that, my friends, is those 2 stitches. And for those that didn't see the last time around, this is my little bunny. Kim Polton was live, and she's doing this little bunny. And we crocheted the little bunny. And mine has a little face and little whiskers and little buck teeth. And I cut the knots on the top side for the eyes so it looked like she has little eyelashes. But my bunny's naked, so we're gonna do some, I'm just putting hair on the bunny because we don't want a naked bunny. I can push you up a little bit now. Kim Polton, we did this bunny in about an hour, a little less than an hour, about an hour. Is my chat frozen? Oh, yes, she is a machine. My chat's not frozen. Hi, Brenda. How are you? I had to say, because I was doing this along with her and I kept having to say, wait. And so she'd stop and she'd wait and say, okay, go. Okay, wait. Okay, go. Because she can just crochet like crazy. But I also found that crocheting with cotton yarn as opposed to acrylic yarn is very sticky. It doesn't slide like acrylic yarn does, so I kept getting caught. But yeah, so those were those stitches. Does anybody I'm pulling out my bunny here, but does anybody have any questions about those stitches? Well, it's not that I like them. It's not that I don't like them. It's that I can't make them perfectly straight. So, yeah, my motifs and everything are I try to get them as close as possible, but my motifs, any straight line is always an organic straight line. It's never a perfect straight line. Okay, so Marty says no, we don't have to go over those again. Okay. I'm just, I bet you this would be a lot easier with a latch hook rug. With a latch hook rug, with a latch hook rug hook. Latch hook, rug hook. Be easier with a rug hook. There, that's the word I want. Rug hook. Be easier with a rug hook. But that's all right. The crochet hook works. So, Pam, you said you found the fabric that you needed to finish John's Pamerals. Are they done yet? Are you still working on them? So I'm just doing the best I can on the little bunny here. And I guess we'll go here. My kitty Ganache is already eyeballing my bunny here, and I don't want her to. Yes. But I don't have a latch hook. That's what it is. It's a latch hook. I don't have a latch hook. I only have a crochet hook. You sewing on the bib? Oh, and the buttons? This variegated yarn is actually kind of tedious because you got to make sure there's not too many pink fibers and too many green fibers all in one spot because he'll look, well, I guess he'll just look calico. Kim said, no sweat, no sweating. This is just no sweating allowed. Oh gosh. So this is what I'm doing right now. I'm just putting hair on the bunny because the bunny didn't have any hair. So what's everybody else working on? Are we cleaning craft tables? Are we? I know Pam is sewing Pamerals, but what's everybody else doing? Just watching me? I hope you're not doing anything that boring. I hope you're crafting along with me as I craft. No, he won't be on naked no more. Sunny Bunny is gonna be a boy, but he's kind of girly colors, but that's all right. He's a good boy. Yeah, Kim named him. She said, "Oh, it's yellow. It's a Sunny Bunny." And so his name is Sunny. Sunny. His name is Sunny. He's a Sunny Bunny. And then after I get all these threads on, she says you have to um, ravel the yarn. So it will be all ravelly. I'll take it and do this to it, and it will be take all the fibers apart like that, and it will be all ravelly. It'll be all ravioli. Like that. You just gotta take them apart, and you do that to all of them. So this is something that can be done in front of the TV while you're watching a movie too. Brenda, you're sitting in the dark watching me. Husband came in, turned off the light, and is watching Jerry somebody. You can't work in the dark, and he can't watch TV in a lit room. So you can't work in the dark. Well, that's a bummer. Say, hey, I'm working here. Don't be turning off no TV. I'm working. I mean, don't be turning off the light. I'm working. That is rude. I think that is rude, Marty. You should have said, are you doing something? Can I turn off the light? That's what I said. You should have said, hey, I'm working here. Don't be doing that. I need to go get some more yarn. Or some more green yarn because I don't have any more green. Hold on. Let's see if I can. See, this is the yarn. This is my yarn and it's called Too Pink. And it's pink and green and a nice soft mocha brown color and an off-white all together. And it's from, I love this cotton. And there's more pink than there is green, and I keep running out of green little fibers here, but that's all right. This is gonna, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I made a lapgan using the Trinity stitch, which does not require a single crochet or a double crochet or a half double crochet or anything like that. It's just its own weird little stitch. And I was able to do that before Kim taught me how to do any crochet because, like I said, it didn't have single crochet or double crochet or anything like that in it. Or if it did, it was just a single crochet, which I knew how to do. So I made a lapgan, and then I wanted to do other things, and every other thing I wanted to do was some sort of single crochet, double crochet, treble crochet, 6 double crochets in one hole, and I was like, okay. And then Kim offered to help me learn crochet. So I have to be careful with scissors when I don't have my artificial nails on because I'm terrified of cutting my fingertips. Okay. Let's get back to Yes, it's always best to ask. I don't care how long you've been married or... Oh, that's my alarm. Must be 10 o'clock. Yeah, I don't care how long anybody's been married. It's just common courtesy. That's my thoughts anyway. My mother used to drive me nuts. She always would require me to knock before entering her bedroom when she was in there, just putting clothes away or whatever. But yet, when it came to walking into my bedroom, she would just walk in, not knock. I'd be getting dressed, half naked, whatever. Oh, sorry, didn't know you were getting dressed. Finally told her one day, I said, yeah, that's why we knock. She just kind of looked at me. Could hear my dad giggling in the background. Do, 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 do. I'm on a highway to hell. Mhm. I'm just concentrating here. Oops, there's a big long piece that didn't get cut in at all. So let's cut it. Mm. I'm gonna have to give my bunny a haircut because not all of these strings are the same length. The ones I first did were really, really long, and these ones are kind of short. He's gonna look like he's got a mullet, only it's gonna be backwards. It's gonna be long in the front and short in the back. He's got a backwards mullet. Ah. Well, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Right. That is the truth, Pam. Ah. Yeah, that's a good idea because kids don't always remember to knock. Wow, it takes a lot of these little stringy thingies to cover the bum bum. Here's my little bun bun. Taking a lot of strings to make him not naked. A songwriter? I am not. I just made up that little tune and it was stupid. You know what? I said earlier that I have little white pom-poms, Stacy, and I have them, but they're real little. They're not as I knew they were little, but I didn't think they were that little. Hold on a second. Let me get them out and you guys tell me if you think they would still work. It's kind of small.
kind of small. Well, maybe it's not that small. Yeah, I want him to have a little white cottontail underneath all that pink and green fur. Yeah, it does look good. I think I will put one on. I have this brown one that's a little bit bigger. Not blonde, not brown, it's blonde. But I didn't like the color. You didn't like the blonde one. It's a little bit bigger, but I didn't like it. So I think it reminds me too much of beige. Oh. That's funny. I ran away. Sometimes I'd call out to my mom and she'd say, "I'm not here." And then I'd say, "Where are you?" She'd say, "I'm over there." Well, my goodness, go through. Wah. Here we go. So this is my last piece of yarn, but I think I need more because his tail is going to be naked. You're going to have a naked bum bum. Yep, I need more because they're going to put a little pom-pom right there, but if I put the little pom-pom right there, it's going to be all naked right there. So I need some more. I need some more. Yep, I need chamois. Just a few more. Not many. Oh, looks like they're all going to be pink. Wait a minute. I don't want them to all be pink. I want some green in there. Holy cow, that's a lot of pink. There's the green. Okay. Hi, Lori. If you're breathing and not bleeding, go away. You know, I have a phobia about my own blood now because of that. If you're bleeding and I can just like scoop you up and put it all back in you or whatever, it doesn't bother me at all. If I start bleeding, I'm a wreck. I'm an absolute wreck because my mother used to say, if you're not bleeding, you're fine, which in my little brain meant if I was bleeding, I'm not fine. So now I have a phobia about my own blood. Not your blood. Your blood doesn't bother me. Nobody else's blood bothers me. My blood bothers me. Would you like to swing on a star? Carry moonbeams home in a jar and be better off than you are. Oh man, I'm gonna smack him. Not really, just hypothetically. Figuratively, not hypothetically. Got that song stuck in my brain. Oh, they were terrible, Marty. They were terrible. And not only that, they were painful. So because they were painful, I was so sick when all because I used to have to call out sick from school 2 days a month when it was really bad and really heavy. The first couple of days, the cramps were bad and it was awful. But Mom, there's so much. You did, Pam. How come? Oh, because of that time? Oh, I tell ya, when I was hemorrhaging nonstop there for like 2 months, I was in a panic. I finally made it into the doctor, finally got that appointment, made it into the doctor, and she said, yeah, you need a hysterectomy. Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know, your uterus is supposed to look like this little pear shaped thing, and mine was this mangled, mutilated, distorted thing. Your ovary is supposed to be the size of your thumb. Mine was the size of a fist. My fallopian tubes were just awful. They were twisted, twisted, twisted. She said, no wonder you were in pain and whatever. And yeah, it was bad, bad, bad. That's when she told me if I had in vitro fertilization that I would have never been able to carry the child. So it was good that my husband and I, now my ex-husband, but that we never tried, because that would have been a lot of money down the drain for nothing. Did aliens get her? Oh, really? Oh, that's painful, Marty. Oh, my mom had to have a hysterectomy only about like uh 9 years after I was born. So she was really young when she had hers, and oh, oh, I'm sniffling and it's driving me crazy. I hate sniffles. I hate hearing other people's sniffles. I hate my own sniffles. It's driving me crazy. I don't even have a runny nose. I'm just sniffing. Oh, Lori, that's ooh. Brenda, you're awful. What happened to the last half hour? Where have I been? Yeah, she wouldn't be able to have kids. You know, a doctor told my aunt she wouldn't be able to have kids, and she went and adopted one and then had three of her own. Oh, it's so cute. Yeah, got a naked spot right here. Wait a minute. Gotta fill that spot in. It's a boy. He's a boy. I don't know if he would appreciate little bows in his hair. Hi, kitty. Hi, Ganache. Hi, Ganache. What doing? What a pretty kitty doing? It's a good thing these are my pajamas. You just made another pull in my pajama top. What are you doing, honey girl? What are you doing? What are you doing? You trying to get my attention? Yeah, you trying to get my attention? You got it. What do you want to do, honey? What do you want? Oh, I scratch you? Okay, I scratch you. Yes, I scratch you. I scratch you. Yeah.
Can I show everybody what you look like? Huh? Are you gonna stay here long enough for me to show everybody what you look like, you big fat kitty? Can I show everybody what you look like, you pretty kitty? Yeah. Okay, hang on, everybody. I'm gonna show you my pretty kitty. There she is. It's a ganache. There she is. There she is. Where'd you go? I'm frozen. There we go. Here we go. There she is. It's a pretty kitty. Ganache. Hi, baby. My little tortoiseshell girl. Yeah. Of course she shows off her butt. That's my foot. Oh, there she goes, walking away. How do I get that out of there? How do I get that out of there? Can anybody hear me now? Can anybody hear me now? Oh, phew, thank God. I don't know what happened. And I don't know how to fix it if it happens again. That was bizarre. No, the aliens got me. The aliens got me. There, I think. Still got a couple of bare spots here. You know what? That'll probably get covered once I'm all... Okay. I don't want to glue the tail on just yet because I have to do all the fluffing. Aliens. Now for the buttons. A Fraggle Rock bunny. It could be. He's all fraggly. No, this is one of the dust bunnies that Kim Polton was making, and she has a dust bunny on her desk. And I guess the story goes she had a friend who was pretty much a clean freak and had no dust bunnies, and she didn't even have kids, so her house was just like immaculate, and it used to drive Kim up a wall. So she made a couple of dust bunnies and left one behind the bathroom door and one under the bed so that she would at least have some dust bunnies. So yeah, it's a dust bunny. Now I just have to undo the untwist the twisted strands of the yarn and fluff it. Get it all fluffed. So that's going to take a while. And then when I'm all done that, then I'll glue the pom-pom on the butt. So it has a little tail, little cotton tail. But yeah, this is a little dust bunny. Yeah, just a little dust bunny. I think he's cute. I had to think about how I wanted to get his face and everything on, and I don't think I'm going to paint the inside of the ears pink like she did because I have kitties, and my kitties have a tendency to steal my pom-poms off my purses, and I had a little lion keychain that when you pressed his belly, it said, "I love you, rawr, rawr, I love you, rawr, rawr." And they stole that, and so if they're going to steal this, I wanted to make sure it wasn't anything that was going to hurt them that was on here. So she is writing them up as we speak, Lori. She's writing them up she had them written down, big notes and whatnot on her desk. And she, and we followed through and everything. And she asked if they made sense, and they made sense to me. I was able to follow her along. So she's going to type them up. She's going to put them in her group. And I forgot what the name of her group was. Marty, do you remember the name of her group? Stacy, you were there. Do you remember the name of her group? I don't remember what the name of it, but she's going to put them there at any rate. I have a very fine tooth comb that I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start at the tip on each one and work it back and see if that will work, because I think it might be easier. I think it might be easier. You'll remember at 3 a.m. Well, I think I'm done for the evening. So I want to thank, I guess I can get too many. You probably can. They're very easy. We made, without the fur, Lori, we made the bunnies in just under an hour. I think it was 52 minutes, something like that. Yeah, we made the bunnies. And that was with her stopping because I was the slow poke and wait a minute and okay, go, and oh, wait a minute and okay, go. And so if you want to follow the live tutorial, you can follow along there for the first time, as she goes through it step by step, or you can wait for the written instructions because it'll be in her group. And it only took, it took me what? And it took me a 45 minutes to do the stitches, and it's been so probably take you 2 hours to make each bunny. Hi, Beth. Yes, KNRP Kim Polton. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And she mentions in the video what her group name is too, so. What you making? This is a dust bunny. This is a dust bunny. It's a little crocheted dust bunny. Kim Polton has one on her desk, and I have been wanting her to teach everybody how to I've been wanting her to teach, or at least print instructions or something, because I wanted to make one. And so when she was live today, this afternoon, we made this little dust bunny, and it's a little crochet dust bunny. And then you take these little strands and you crochet them into the spaces on the dust bunny. Not crochet them, but hook them like you would a latch hook rug. And you just kind of pull them through like that. And then when you have them all in place, you separate the strands of your yarn, all of them. Takes a while to do that. And then you end up with a dust bunny. just like hers on her desk. Can everybody hear me okay? Did I lose my volume again? Okay, just making sure. Okay, just making sure. Because I don't know what happened earlier, but yeah, so we're making a dust bunny and mine I sewed on the eyes and I cut the knots in front so it looks like he has little eyelashes and he got a little nose with whiskers and I gave him some little buck teeth. Mine's a boy. His name is Sunny. Sunny. Unless that's a girl's name. I think it's a boy's name. I don't know. I know Sunny, Sonny, is a boy's name. You see a button? There's no button anywhere. Where do you see a button? I see a pom-pom. That's going to be his tail as soon as I fray out his fur. There's no button. Oh, you're sewing on a button. I get it now. I was like, you're seeing a button? What? Oh. Can tell I'm French. It takes me an hour to say goodbye. So, so yeah, that's my little dust bunny. And I taught a couple of stitches, and then before that, I was live with the prompt along. So you can restream that. Yeah, I got it, Marty. Thank you. It's brat. She's the brat. I heard. I saw. I saw what she was sewing, saying. I better quit while I'm mad. Oh, oh. So at any rate, yes, it has been a long night. This is my live night, and I'm on like 4 hours talking and teaching and playing, and it's tough. You have to hand sew them. So at any rate, like I was saying, it's been a long night. I got some seeing sawing. I got some fibro fog, and it's really starting to settle in now. I'm gonna say goodnight. Hi, Kim. We were just talking about you. Beth wants to know where to find the pattern for the dust bunny. Look, he has fur now. And he has a little face. And I made knots for his eyes so it looks like he has little eyelashes. And I tied knots on his nose so it looks like he has little whiskers. And I gave him some buck teeth. In the info on your live or in your group. Um, Marty or Pam, can you post Kim's group? Would you be willing to do that for us, please, so Beth can see? And this is the little white pom-pom that's going to be his tail. Underneath all that hair. He's going to have a little tail underneath all that hair. I gotta put a few more right down here in front because it looks like he has a balding hairline right there. Yep, that's the YouTube video. Thank you, Marty. I know, his ears are wicked floppy. I don't know what I did or didn't do, but that's just the way it is. And that's just the way it is. And one is shorter than the other. One does have actual 10 half double crochets and one has 9. I know, he's got a receding hairline. Come over. A receding hairline. Oh, the bunny stepped backwards. You get a receding hairline. Pam posted the link to the video up there. Yes. And you posted to her YouTube. Pam posted to the video. Does anybody know what her? Yeah. Does anybody? Kim, what's the name of your group? Your Facebook group? A Widow's Peak. Oh, the link to that is on your video too. Okay. Meet your creativity. I don't think I'm subscribed to that group. I'm going to have to go correct that. Okay, Lori, good night. Little baby chicks. Okay, and now for the third time, I'm going to say goodnight too. And this time I really do mean it. Thank you all for coming in and joining me in my craft space. I appreciate you all. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Nice warm hugs to everybody who joined me. I hope I was entertaining. Sweet turtle dreams. Bye for now. Meow.